Alright, welcome back for match 5. We are currently 2-2 with green, white, black, Maverick up against Gucci Gabe. It sounds fine. We're going to keep it. We have the Green Sun Zenith, which is really nice for flexibility. Questing Beast as a kind of endgame beater, and Swords to Plowshares for removal. So pretty happy with this. It is quite land heavy, so I don't really want to draw into any extra lands, but we do have access to basics early on, which is nice. And then 2 for a Savannah or a Bayou or Scrubland. Polluted Delta, okay. Apologies. Oh, Watery Grave, okay. Looking at looks like a shadow deck. So I'm pretty happy here just to go basic into Green Suns for Dryad Arbor. Just to start getting my mana ramp going a little bit more. And if the Devil doesn't flip, I'm pretty happy to trade here because of the amount of mana I have in hand. Of course it does. And the Thoughtseize is actually a pretty great draw. Taking the swords is going to be pretty brutal. Rough. Wasteland as well, pretty nice draw for my opponent. Let's go for Plains into Giver and pass. Interestingly enough, Giver can give protection from Wasteland to Dryad Arbor, which is pretty cool. Rough. So we do still have some good draws. Abrupt Decay is really nice. The other Swords to Plowshares. Scrib Range is not too bad as well. There's Decay, which is nice. So might just pass back. Could definitely have attacked with Giver there, but Wasteland's fine. We do have Knights to kind of get out of this. Speaking of, which is really nice. So, gonna fetch here just for a Plains. Actually, I'll go for a Forest just because Scavenging Ooze is kind of good in this matchup. Force Pitching Brainstorm's fine. Can attack for 1. It's just annoying because the small attacks actually really advantage our opponent with Death Shadow in the deck. Green Suns is pretty nice there. So let's go get a Savannah, or a Scrubland, sorry. And just go for a Knight. Fatal Push. That's gonna be fine. We'll go and get Knight, and then just pass back. Obviously they have a Fatal Push in their hand then. Or else this is just nearly lethal? Yeah. So opponent down to 0 cards. Swords to Plowshare is not a great draw for us, but at the same time kind of nice, especially if we can try to keep them off something like... a Death Shadow. Pond is fine. Second Pondo, okay. Port's not too bad. I think I'm happy just to swords it here. Green Suns is a pretty great draw. Wow, and just get there. Okay. Judgment seemed great. Palace Jailer seems great. Vrask is interesting. I don't mind her just as another way to get rid of Delver of Secrets and also Death Shadow. And then the Veil of Summons are nice against the discard of the deck. So I'm going to take out the second Prelates because, again, what we name is a lot worse for us than for them. Our 1-drops and 2-drops are just so good. Can probably take out Gaddock Teeg as well. Ramunap's nice because the Wasteland lock is real against Death Shadow. Sylvan Safekeeper is great. Givers are still okay. Leyline's interesting. They do have the Reanimate plan and also Gomag, but I don't think it's really worth it. I most likely just want to drop something like maybe 1 Thalia, and then maybe bring in Thoughtseize on the play. I could see myself taking out all Thalia because they probably bring in neg 1 hate, like Plague Engineer or Thalia. Oh, sorry, Liliana Last Hope. So maybe actually, if I can get this in quickly, yeah, getting those 2 Thoughtseize in the main deck seems quite nice. I think it does a bit more than Thalia. Being able to take a threat is pretty huge as well. This sounds fine. We'll keep this. It's the Sylvan Library is very susceptible to Thoughtseize or Duress, but you know, you can't keep them all. We also have a pretty nice mana base where we can actually just get basics pretty early on. So we'll use the Verdant Catacombs for a forest because a Windswept Heath can get another basic plains if we need it for Judgment. And I'm just going to cast out Sylvan Safekeeper. Snuff out, okay. Looks like they might just be going for an early Death Shadow here. I don't mind just trying to slam the Sylvan Library next turn to try to get the Council Judgment online ASAP. If they daze it, then that's fine because the Judgment's going to hopefully get through. You never really know, but it's always nice to try to see. Alright. Scrubland. Let's go for Sylvan Library. So they currently have a 2-turn clock. Not too bad for us because this Council's Judgment is going to be pretty good. It doesn't target, which is nice. Gomag as well, rough. So really nice turn for my opponent. And this might just be it. Unfortunately, yeah, we just don't have the mana to put together multiple spells in that turn. So let's bring in the last Thoughtseize. I don't think Leylines are good enough. Playing Engineer might be good enough because of the Death Touch as well. So I'm going to take out Pride Mage, Ramunap. Maybe one Veil. And see how this plays out. It's definitely a deck that I don't have too much experience against. The Swords to Plowshares most likely means we should be pretty favorable in the opening few turns. And especially to deal with a Death Shadow as well. Leyline's always interesting. It turns off Reanimate and Gomag, which are most likely, I'm going to say, 4 cards in the deck, which isn't a whole lot. It doesn't actually turn off Reanimate because they can target us as well, so it's not just their creatures. They can get back our creatures like they did there with the Sylvan Safekeeper. Love to play first. And this hand's pretty strong. I'm pretty keen to keep this. Can get a Scrubland off the Verdant Catacombs to cast either a Swords to Plowshares or Thoughtseize. Probably opening with Thoughtseize. Taking a threat out of my opponent's hand would be really nice. Something like a Delver. Interesting. I think we take the Brainstorm. The Forces we know about, we don't really care about. The Fatal Push we don't really care about either. So it's definitely the Brainstorm, just to make sure they can't actually sculpt a decent hand. We can also waste them off this Watery Grave, which is pretty brutal. So there's Watery Grave. Ponder. Alright. See what they do. Chose not to shuffle, so obviously I think there's probably lands on top. But it's probably still worth wastelanding here. And then playing this Giver. Alright. If we start drawing lands, we definitely win this war. Classic. Guess we can at least attack. I do want a 6 in case my opponent has... I guess Snuff Out, they have to have a swamp, so... Oof. Still not great. pretty funny turns. There's a land. Ponder's fine. Oh, great. Ugh. Definitely attack. I don't want to play around, like, I don't want to not attack because they could just cast a Death Shadow naturally due to this damage. But yeah, rough draws. I guess we could get rid of a knight. But yeah, I mean, that's what you get for not keeping a great hand. I guess that Verdant is a start. We'll just concede there. So pretty rough start, and a pretty rough last game. So we finished up 2-3. The list I think was fine. You know, the mana base is pretty solid. I don't think there's any changes that I make there. The creatures are pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a great league for main deck Collector Ouphe. Maybe that's something that we take out and maybe shift over with another Reliquary. The Ks are really nice. I think there's probably room for something like Palace Jailer in the main deck. I could definitely see a version that plays Palace Jailer main deck, Plague Engineer's main deck, second Prelates in the board, and maybe something like Questing Beast in the board as well, but I'm not too sure where Questing Beast comes in against. I think it's just such a good game 1 card. But that is it. A huge thank you to you guys for watching. My name is Dukes on Twitch. You can catch me on Twitch on Wednesday nights at Australian Eastern Standard Time of 7:30, or on Sunday mornings at around 10 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Cheers.